Happy Frugal Friday, friends, and welcome back to another video. So today's video, I really want to talk to you a little bit about some of the things that I do to turn frugality into a game, because being frugal and saving money is not natural to me. So I always try and find ways to encourage myself and motivate myself to continue living to the goals that I am working so hard to get to. So I just wanted to share with you 5 different ways that I turned frugality into a game. And do you know what? It's actually helped me save money, live way below my means, and helping me get that bit closer, actually that a lot closer to my financial goals. So if you're interested in that type of video, don't forget to hit that like button and to subscribe, join our community, because why not? Anyway, let's just get straight into it. So the first thing that I do is I always try and see how low I can get my food shop bill. So at the moment, I'm on a challenge where I try and get my food shop bill to beat the last week's total. And in that way, I can save a little bit of money. So it doesn't have to be like reams of money. I'm not talking about trying to save like 20 or 30 pounds off the bill. I'm trying to actually get to the point where even if it's just 10p, that's 10p less than I spent last week. And that way it just helps me to get to the point where I'm trying to be as effective and as efficient as possible, but also trying to make sure my pound can last as long as possible. And so far I have managed to get my food budget down to £12.50 per week, which I think is still very cheap, but I think I can still push it a lot lower. And that's also without making sure I forego any of the things that we normally do, and still making sure we eat very healthy. The next challenge that I try to do is try and see how many days I can go without purchasing food from outside my home. So I put my hands up, and I'm pretty sure you've noticed in a lot of my frugal living videos, I talk a lot about trying to cut down on the amount of takeaways that I buy, going out to restaurants, the number of coffee shops that I frequent. And so one of the things that I'm doing at the moment is to see how long in a month I can go without visiting somewhere to purchase food or drinks. And to be honest with you, so far, other than special occasions, I've managed to just not go outside and eat out. I have managed to not order any takeaways for the last month, which has been really good on my budget. And I have found it has required a lot of willpower, but also a lot of planning, because sometimes it can be really easy that when you are already outside, you will go and just buy something when you're outside. But I have made sure that when I am out, I am prepped and prepared. I know exactly how long I'm going to be out for, and I carry everything that we need, especially for my son who may need snacks or food to go. So I just try to make sure I've done it. So far, I've done a month without anything, and I'm hoping next I can do the next 2 months and see how that goes. And maybe one day I will have a no spend year, which will be the ultimate test of my willpower. And then similar to the others, I also try and make sure I can see how long I can go without doing any online shopping. Now, this is particularly hard for me because I always want to make sure my son has got appropriate clothing and he's got everything that he needs. So, for example, I know I'm trying to make sure that I'm planning ahead so that I know my budget consists of things that we need for the specific month, so that I don't have to do any irregular shopping. So for example, this month I tried to make sure I budget for his school shopping so that I wouldn't have to do any irregular purchases. I always try to make sure that I'm on top of exactly how many clothes he needs for the different seasons that we go through, and try to make sure that I'm not just sporadically spending money online. That has been a test, because I do love online shopping and purchasing things. So I try to make sure how long I can go. This one I haven't done as well because I'm not as good. So this one is still a challenge for me, and I'm still trying to make sure I do the best that I can. Then in line with trying to cut my food bill, I also try and see how many meals I can stock up in the freezer. So part of my frugal living is trying to make sure that I meal plan better and I cook at home more often. And to do so, I always try and make sure I am making meals as often as I can. So not only meal planning, but actually making meals and freezing them, because I'm not one of those people who likes to spend too much time in the kitchen cooking. So if it's already prepped and prepared and cooked, even better. That means I just need to heat it up and I go along. So what I do is I dedicate a weekend where I prep and I prepare everything that we need to cook, and I basically just store them in containers in portion sizes for me and my son, and all I have to do is just heat them up. And the good thing is that once you do that, you can just stack them in the freezer, and it also reduces the temptation to just order takeaway because you know that there's already food in the house. The longest I've done so far is a whole week, and all I have to do is just do the fresh ingredients, which was a lifesaver. So instead of spending like 45 to an hour in the kitchen cooking every day, that actually meant I was only in the kitchen for like 15 minutes, which was a lifesaver. I don't know why I'm not doing it even more, but that's really, really helpful. So I'm going to try and see if I can beat my weekly score so far and see if I can do it for 2 or 3 weeks at a go. And that way I will be so happy. And then the final thing is I try to reduce the amount of times I am driving. Now this is a little bit easier because the weather was fantastic. So you could opt to walk a little bit more. But at the moment, I think this challenge is going to struggle a little bit now that the weather is changing and we're moving into the winter season. But I still want to keep this challenge going because anything to do with car maintenance or driving costs can have a significant impact on your budget, because the more you drive, the more you wear out your car, the more likely you will need to repair your car. And those bills are always shockingly high. So the less you drive, the less you have to spend on car maintenance, which is one of the bills that I'm trying to reduce as much as possible. So if most amenities that I need are within walking distance, then I will opt to walk these days rather than drive. Now the beauty of it is because I've also managed to convince myself it has an additional benefit because I can exercise as well. So I'm trying to see how many days I can go without driving my car. And so far we've managed to do 2 weeks because I do grocery shopping every 2 weeks and I do big grocery shops. So maybe next time I will think about how I can maybe utilize a different supermarket and maybe walk to it. I don't know. I need to think about that. Let me know in the comments below if you have any ideas. So those are just a few simple ways that I try to make frugality into a game, because I'm one of those people who loves challenges and I love to challenge myself and I like to push myself and do something a little bit different. So let me know in the comments below, is it something that you would do or not? I hope you have a wonderful day and thank you so much for all your support. Please make sure to check out this video, which will show you everything that I'm doing to live a more frugal life and save money. And until the next video, take care. Bye.